I want to start tonight with a question that should affect each and every one of you who's watching this program, who's a parent of a school-going child or indeed children going to college, because there has been confusion. What happens in Corona times with college examinations? Today, the fact is the government stepped in. The Union Human Resources Development, Ramesh Pokhriyal, held a meeting with education ministers of all states via video conference. He appealed to all states to start the process of evaluation of answer sheets for the crucial CBSE exams of class 12. Delhi's Education Minister Manish Sisodia urged the CBSE to assess students on the basis of internal examinations for the exams that could not be conducted due to COVID-19. Remember, almost every student has at least one exam left. He has also requested the HRD ministry to cut the syllabus for next year by 30%. The big question now, what happens to the school calendar? What happens to the college calendar? I'm joined at the moment, right at the very top of the news today, by Rekha Krishnan, principal of Vasant Valley School. I appreciate your joining us there, Mrs. Krishnan. I want to understand from you, does this mean that class 12th exams are still in an element of uncertainty? Class 10, the government has recommended to pass the students based on internal exams. What happens to class 12 CBSE examinations, which are critical not just for their immediate future, but also if they want to get into IIT or if they want to go into medicine?
So I think that given the circumstances that the world is facing today, Mr. Sardesai, it is important for us to take a dramatic step, because it is not something which is typical to the students of our country, of our class 12. So I think if I were the CBSE, I would write off the last examination that is pending for most students. As you said, most students have only one examination pending. There are a few who have two. I would write off that examination, give students marks on the basis of their internal assessment, and for the sake of clarity for the larger world, for the universities, mention next to the subjects that these examination marks come from internal assessment, and these are the ones which come from external, from the CBSE examination that was done taken by the students. So it will also help the children get some kind of closure, because they've been waiting from the 18th of March, not knowing what is going to happen to their examinations. They need to move on. They need to do other things. I think it is important for CBSE to take a clear decision that because of the unforeseen circumstances in the world today, we need to take a difficult decision. We write off that examination and use internal assessment marks. There is a lot of anxiety amongst the parents and the students about the cancellation of that examination, because they feel that internal assessment marks might not be a true reflection of what they would have scored in the CBSE examination, which might be true, but then I think unforeseen circumstances require difficult decisions to be taken.
But Mrs. Krishnan, the fact is that in normal times, by the end of May, we would have had the CBSE results, and students can then start applying to colleges. They can start going ahead with appearing for the various competitive exams. Now, as of today, and we are reaching the end of April, even the process of evaluation hasn't started. Today, the government has urged various state governments to start the process of evaluation. What does that do to the entire calendar? Do you believe that the entire calendar will now be pushed back by a couple of months?
I think so. I think it would be sensible for the CBSE, for the Ministry of for the higher education experts to shift the academic calendar by a few years. I know that universities in the Western world, in UK, in USA, have also already started telling students, reaching out to them, that they will look at the first semester assessments and teaching in a different format. Some have also written that they might start only in January. So why can't Indian universities also move their academic calendar by a couple of months and start in August or fall, September? Start in September, consolidate everything that has happened now, get the evaluations of all the examination papers that have been conducted done in these 2-3 months. It also gives universities time. They have the entire month of May, June and July to get their act together as to how to do the entrances for their courses. And anyway, most universities nowadays do take alternative methods of assessment for the students for admission criteria. They have either an essay or an interview or tests, like the the IIT entrance exam or the medical entrance exams. We have the CLAT. We have all kinds of entrances. We have English entrance examinations. We have universities need to get their act together. And we have said for a long, long time that the emphasis and the focus on this one examination of class 12 to decide their entire life going forward is a lot of emphasis. So we need to take that focus away, and it's a good time. Maybe it's a blessing that we can take the focus away from this examination, because the class 12 CBSE examination is a capping examination for their school level education. It should not be used as an entrance, as a measure for an entrance into college education. So let the universities, let colleges find alternative ways to assess students, and let the CBSE give them internal assessment marks for that one exam that is pending for most students.
Therefore, I want to ask you one final question, because typically the CBSE board, Mrs. Krishnan, follows a 3-tier evaluation process to ensure proper checking of the answer sheets, and they say fair marking of the answers provided by the students. Now, as a result of the fact that there are these time constraints, are you telling me that that entire 3-tier evaluation process now should, in an ideal situation, be rejected, and we need a new system particularly just for this year?
No, absolutely not, Mr. Sardesai. I think the 3-tier system can exist. Once upon a time, in various other examination modules, we do have the examiners taking papers home, or because the entire school building, so either allow the examiners to take the papers home, evaluate them and bring them in batches. You can do some staggered entrance back of the teachers into the school system, where they can come in, go through the moderation process with the head examiners, with the center superintendents and all of that. So I'm not saying reject that system, because then the validity of those results will be questioned by the general public.
Right.
Go through that process, but go through that process in a slower fashion. It will take time, because we will have to stagger the teachers coming into school to show their papers, to discuss their papers, to go through moderation. Go through the process in letter and spirit, but take time, go through it diligently, and then delay the university academic calendar by a few months.
Okay. Rekha Krishnan, you've been very clear about what you believe is the way forward. Today, the CBSE perhaps has offered a window of opportunity to students at a time when there is uncertainty that troubles them. I appreciate your joining me here, ma'am, at the top of the news today.
Hi everyone, Preeti Chaudhary here. Hope you like this video. For latest news and analysis, like and subscribe to the India Today YouTube channel. And don't forget to press the bell icon to stay updated. Thank you for watching.